John, was the extra protection today related to the Tuesday, or is there an aggravation last night?
Well, it's just obviously very sore, and got hit early on in the game. I was pretty uncomfortable from that point on, so just felt obviously to help let it heal, and then hopefully just add some extra protection where it doesn't become more than what it is.
Was that the elbow, like the hip?
It was the high stick.
The high stick.
From the stitches.
John, not entirely about last night, but why do you think the team has struggled in overtime this season?
I honestly haven't put too much thought to it. It just seems that that first puck is really, really crucial, I find, as there's definitely a lot more strategy, I think, going on as the years have passed with overtime, and teams really just trying to control play and obviously get the opponent tired. And sometimes it comes down to just one mistake that creates an opportunity. So we just have to do a better job, I think, getting puck possession, and then obviously looking for our opportunity to strike and doing the best you can with trying to have fresh people out there.
Is overtime worth putting a great deal of thought into, or is it just really so much of a crapshoot? As you say, if you lose the open draw, you're already right up against it.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think you got to have some strategy and make sure you're on the same page and understand what we're trying to do, especially when you're defending. And then I think when you get the opportunity offensively, I think you have guys out there that obviously have really good instincts and skill with a little more time and space. So I think you want to give that ability to trust your instincts and go out there and make a play when it's there, but also being responsible that you're not forcing the issue as well, that you're understanding when your time to strike is. So it's a bit of a balancing act, and that's just part of the game. We're just trying to know where your advantage is and when to take advantage of it. Trying to use your instincts as well as when you can, look to make a play.
Sheldon mentioned last night too many freebies, I guess, this season. You guys have the puck so much that I guess giveaways are going to be a part of the game for you guys regardless, but is there anything in particular you guys got to do better when it comes to puck management?
Well, I think it's gotten better as the season has gone on here. Obviously, we still need to do a better job. We're also trying to get better offensively as well. We haven't really found consistent rhythm, 5-on-5 or even strength, in generating the chances that we need to as consistently as we'd like. Obviously, we've seen some good spurts, some good games. So that's another balancing act. Obviously, we want to have the puck, we want to control play, and we want to attack the middle. And teams are going to try to defend us that way and look to counter when they can. So obviously, it's a fine line where we've got to be obviously really smart and diligent. We have good structure, so when the puck does change hands, we're in good spots to recover, slow the opponent down. But we're not just going reckless, abandon, and trying to be over aggressive and make plays. I think we want to use our ability and the way we want to generate offense with attack in the middle and looking to get in there through structure, work ethic, and then obviously using our skill and our instincts. So, like I said, it's 3-on-3. I think it's a balancing act as well.
John, why do you think there has been, what you said, consistency elusive at 5-on-5, given A, the talent of the group, and B, it's the same group that's been here for a bit?
Yeah, I think we've learned that the talent isn't just what brings the consistency or the results. I think it's the work ethic, the habits, everyone being on the same page, not just as a line, but all 5 guys out on the ice, and then how connected we have to be from our own zone all the way to the offensive zone. And, we've had good stretches, even last night where we're doing a good job on the forecheck. We're creating good offensive zone time. It's just obviously penetrating to the net and making that determination of when to strike, recovering pucks, and really trying to generate momentum and put your opponent on its heels. So for whatever reason, that obviously we're continuing to work at and work on. We have to be just a little more consistent. We've had good stretches, good games, and then at times where it hasn't been as consistent, or we haven't gotten the results maybe. And that's just the way it goes. It's a long season. We're playing good hockey teams too, so not that we just want to say we're playing a good team, but teams defend well. They're obviously prepared for the way we want to play as we're trying to prepare for our opponents. So it's always a chess game that way of trying to work to break them down.
Do you think you'll have to wear that face thing in the game tomorrow?
My plan is to, as of now, yeah.
Is that a big adjustment at all? Or?
Honestly, didn't feel too bad out there today, so I was pretty happy with it. So hopefully that gives me a little bit of a feel for tomorrow.
I'm not sure who saw what happened to Austin with the big practice, but is there any concern for that?
Well, you never want to see Austin leave practice. Took the puck off the foot, obviously. But it'd be just precautionary. I'd like to think he's going to be all right. I know he plays through a lot of things. Ever since I've come here, he's played through a lot of different injuries and bumps and bruises and hamstring things as well. Usually you see those come from games. Unfortunately, there's a puck off the foot today, so hopefully all's good and he'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Thank you. How many stitches, Mitch? Any concern to see Austin leave the way he did today?
I haven't talked to him yet, so I can't really give you an update on anything, but hopefully it's all good.
He's shown he's had a pretty high pain tolerance, I guess. What's been your perspective on how he's been able to play through stuff during his career?
Yeah, he's been great. I think our team's been great with that, just playing through stuff, not really letting it affect your play. So, like I said, hopefully he's all good. We'll check in on him here soon.
Of all of the teams, Mitch, that you guys have played this year, is it fair to say in your mind that the Devils might have been the team that exhibited the most pressure on pucks?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's hard to say that. I think Pittsburgh is also up there with that, just with their sticks. I think they're just hard on the forecheck. They got good sticks. Both teams know how to put their sticks in good spots. I thought we did a really good job, actually, the first two periods of getting out of a lot of pressure spots. In the third, we just didn't do a good enough job of that.
Why do you think overtime's maybe been a struggle for you guys this season?
Gapping. I mean, that one there is just, kind of Johnny just tries to make a play, doesn't really see the guy coming. It's just, I'm getting caught going the wrong way. I've been out there for a while. It's unfortunate. I think we just got to start with the puck more, try and win that opening draw. We almost had it there. Guy just was able to slip by and get it back. So after that, I thought we did a good job just defending, keeping it in tight. And then, like I said, Johnny just didn't see that guy from behind me. And obviously, when you give the puck to Hughes with that much time and space, with the coming downhill on the D-man with no gap, it's it's not what you want.
Is there a mentality shift that's required for overtime, do you think?
I don't think so. I think it's just, we know how to play. We know how to do our thing. Not trying to force anything. Like I said, it's tough when you play an overtime like that last night. You don't really get to touch the puck. You're just playing defense, and then, it ends up being net. Like I said, I thought we played it really actually well there, the first start of it, of taking away their time and space, taking away their speed, especially with who was out there, staying in tight, making it work around us. And like I said, it's just a tough play there. Johnny doesn't see the guy from behind me, and it's a play he definitely wants back that we talked about after and talked about today. And it's obviously just we want to win those games because of how skilled we are and how many skilled players we have, but sometimes it doesn't always go your way.
I know that.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I realized how hard it was to play that game last night against that team. Are you concerned, though, that a team like the Leafs, which has such offensive skill, is 22nd in the league 5-on-5? Do you have an explanation for that?
I mean, we're trying to figure that out ourselves. We're talking about it every day. We're going over through stuff. I think it's just, we haven't really counter-striked, or I guess we haven't really got a bunch of pucks back on the forecheck, really, and found a quick strike, found the slot, found guys available for those quick little kind of plays and tight. And I thought we've done a great job of getting pucks back, just not being able to find the middle, going up top of it, and then trying to work into our zone. It's just, I get more guys around the net, I think, get second opportunities. We got to get a little greasy, and then the other stuff will start kind of opening up for us.
Sheldon said giveaways were an issue or have been an issue. Do you think that that's tied to that? Kind of you guys are pressing for offense and maybe some of those turnovers are coming?
Maybe sometimes. Also, I mean, just forcing plays, I think, in ozone, just, with the skill we have in this locker room, we can make a lot of great plays. We can make a lot of little kind of seam plays and stuff like that. And sometimes, we force it. We kind of make it seem like it's there when it's not. And I think those are the times where we just got to make sure we're playing it safe, playing it smarter, putting it to the bottom and trying to put it to the net with guys around. And I think that's something that we've talked about a lot and trying to work on. And I've gotten better at.
Saw you out there taking a shift on D. Just curious how you feel like that's gone so far this season when you've had those looks.
Yeah, I felt good until Nico decided to take me for a walk there, but that was a great move by him. I wasn't seeing it coming. Thought we had guys back, which we did, and I thought he was going to shoot it through me, so I was trying to block it. That's a hell of a move by him, but yeah, I felt good on the breakouts. Trying to, advance the puck, trying to be in the right spots. Obviously, got to work on my defensive side when I am playing on that D side, but felt good back there. You can see the ice, you can see everything kind of nicely, and try to just make plays and get it to our forwards in the right spots.
Do you have a great cup pick?
Come on, what kind of question is that? I mean,
Argo,
yeah. I mean, I'm going Argos all day. I mean, I know. I got to go my Argos. I mean, those are my guys, but it's going to be a great game. That Winnipeg team's also very good. Obviously, back to back. Zach, I've worked out with for bless you. Worked out with Zach for the last couple of summers as well, so he's a great guy over there and with their team, and it's been a great quarterback the last couple of years. So it's been great to see him really excel in that role and take off and become the leader, and just a great team over there. But I'm sticking with my boys in the Argos, so I'm cheering for them all day on Sunday.
Yeah, Zach's dealing with maybe an injury. Like, what stood out? Been around him in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, just his work ethic. He's very committed to his body, getting things right. It's impressive to watch other people in other sports, how they work out and how they do things and take care of themselves. So, he's a great guy. He was awesome to be around the last couple of summers, and I wish him all the best for Sunday, but still going my Argos. So,
thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, talk to you guys.
What can you tell us about Austin's status?
He's fine.
Yeah. And Matt Murray, was that just planned to leave before?
Yeah, we're just managing his workload. He's going to play again tomorrow, so we wanted to make sure that he just got a little bit of work in today, but more so prepping for tomorrow.
How does the team balance, obviously, trying to generate more offense 5-on-5 with the giveaways you mentioned yesterday? If you find like that might be tied together.
I don't see the connection to the giveaways necessarily. It's a mindset for us. I think we had a real good night in Pittsburgh at 5-on-5 and scored some great goals there, and you can see some of the trends that helped us in that regard, whether it's how we left our zone and how we attacked the offensive blue line and made plays on Mitch's goal, or in that front presence we have on John's goal and Bunce as well, and then 2-on-1 goal that Bunce scores. You can make a play in the neutral zone, get it behind the defense with speed onto it. Like, there's some real good examples there of how you score goals in the league. So we felt like we're trending in the right direction, and we had the puck a lot last night, and especially in the second period in the offensive zone, and just not nearly enough of that mindset to really challenge and threaten to get to the net. And we need more urgency in that regard to create more. I think our individual players, as we look at it, I think we've had opportunities to score in the last stretch, and it hasn't gone in for us, but we need to be able to do that more consistently and generate more looks.
Is the mindset also something that can be transferred over to the giveaways, like the puck management and refusing to kind of make those mistakes, I guess?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question, but I don't see the connections. Two different things for me. When guys are giving the puck away, generally it's well-intentioned. They're not wanting to give the puck away. They're trying to make a play. But, we often talk to the guys about making the right decision with the puck and taking what's there. The team gives you the middle of the rink, or it gives you an opportunity to make a play. You want to make it, but we don't want to force anything. You don't want to try to create something from nothing, especially when you're at a disadvantage or the other team has numbers or a tight gap. I think, again, in Pittsburgh, I thought we did that very well. And, I think it was only an issue on a couple of instances, but that's all it takes when you're playing a team of New Jersey's quality that's feeling it the way that they are. So, it stands out in that sense, but I don't think that was much of the issue for us yesterday. It was more so just of what we did once we had the puck, and especially in that second period where we were pretty dominant in terms of our time spent in the offensive zone, but didn't generate nearly enough with it. And, we have to have more urgency to turn that puck time into scoring opportunities.
Sheldon, I can't remember the word you used to describe it over times, like chaotic maybe, but how do you get on the other side of it now with one win in 5 tries this year in OT, or is it a game-by-game thing or a situation by situation?
Well, I think, I mean, if you were to take each of those games and look at them, I think it is, each game has each goal and each situation has a different feel to it. I think overtime generally is a chaotic situation, back and forth and things of that nature, and a lot of times your best scoring chance of overtime that you miss can turn into a great opportunity the other way, and that's what's happened a lot, and that's what happens a lot in the league, but that hasn't been the case for us in the last while. It's been more so that we're either just flat out getting beaten, giving the opposition a good look, or we're forcing something that's not there, and then in turn giving them a great look that we're not even getting ourselves. So that's been more of a concern of late that we've got to continue to work through and address, because I think some of the chaotic nature of it that comes through generating your own looks, and we haven't even gotten that as much here in the last couple of times out.
Is it just a matter of just dedicating some time to them replicating those situations, or is that kind of hard to kind of mix in with all the other regular practice?
Well, there has been a lot of things that we've been trying to sort through as a team, and feel like we've made a lot of progress in a number of areas that have put us in a position to get points, and especially against really good teams, and to win games here of late. But that's one that clearly, because we haven't been on the right side of it, has got to be addressed. Normally for me it's quite far down the list, because there's a lot of things that have to happen for you to even get an opportunity to be in that position. But clearly when it hasn't been going our way here, it needs some attention and more consistency in terms of how we handle that situation.
Just to go back to what you were talking about off the top, how perplexing is it to you as a coach when it's not early in the season anymore, when you have this kind of an offense and they're, I guess, only 22nd in the league in that 5-on-5?
Yeah, listen, we've got individual players that historically have produced a lot more than they have so far, but as a team, the expectation is that we would generate more, and we haven't done that yet. In terms of the actual goals, I look at it, and obviously Austin is one that hasn't scored to nearly the same rate, but I look at it, he had 2 breakaways against Vancouver and didn't score on either, and then had a breakaway in Pittsburgh and didn't score there, and a 2-on-1 and chose to pass it off, which is a really good thing to Bunce, and makes that decision. He's had a couple right on the goal line that haven't fallen. Like all of a sudden some of those go in, and it changes things quite a bit. But my concern is more so that it's not even the goals, it's the actual generation of chances, which I think the goals will naturally come from that. And yet, as much as it's not, it is not so much early in the season anymore. We're approaching 20 games here. I think I saw something that Jersey's one of the top teams in the league at 5-on-5 production, and we're 20 whatever we are, and the difference was about 12 goals, which is less than 1 goal per game. Mm-hmm. So you're not that far off, and you go on a good stretch, and all of a sudden that changes. And I think we have the team that certainly has the ability to do that, and we just got to focus on doing the right things to make it happen.
Mitch said he felt like the shift he took on defense was going pretty well until the situation with Nico there. I'm just curious your thoughts on how that has worked out from the times you've seen it this season.
Yeah, well, I thought last night was we haven't used it very often, but last night I thought was the best that it worked out for us. Obviously the focus would be on the defending piece, but he's not out there to defend, he's out there to spark our offense. And I think if you were to go back and look at it, which I have, he had 3 touches of the puck on the breakout, and 3 of the best touches we had the entire period in terms of getting out of our zone, and he generated with speed coming out of our end, generated as good a scoring chance and puck delivery to the net that we had all period, and that's what I'm looking for there. And in terms of the defending, that's not so much that it's secondary, but you're out there to spark the offense, and he did the job there. We got to sustain the offense so that he doesn't even have to defend. That was more what I was concerned about there, because again, breaking down the one-on-one that he has to defend, the back pressure from the forwards is non-existent, and that's more of the stuff that I'm concerned about there.
Is it a gut feel? Want to go to that?
Yeah, and I thought about going to it a little bit earlier because we were having such a hard time getting out of our zone last night in that third period, and that's really where I think Mitch can help. And and that's exactly what happened. But yeah, I think in terms of the timing of it, it's more situational with what's happening in the game and how the forwards are playing and how our bench is going. And so obviously, when you put them back there, you become you're one less forward deep. So it's all about managing that. But Mitch has been very willing to put in the work to be prepared for that situation, and I loved how he went out and when the puck got on his stick, he got the offense going. That's what you're looking for.
You roll with the same lineup tomorrow?
We're going to discuss that and make a decision for tomorrow. We didn't talk too much about it for today other than the goaltender.
Did Ilya skate today, or what, was he able to do anything today?
He didn't skate today. He's in the gym and doing his thing there and continuing to work towards a return, but he's not at the point now where he's in any sort of push to come back. He's got some more healing to do, and he's not quite at the point where he can do everything on the ice, so they're more so just wanting to make sure he's consistently seeing pucks, because there's a lot of things he can do, but he's not quite at the point of being able to push it every day.
Sorry, so just to be clear, you haven't decided on the goalie for tomorrow?
No, I had decided
Oh, okay.
on the goalie. That's the only thing that we really spent time on today.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.